Okay, we will work on the left file build a database server。咁我而家做第五個練習 build a database server 啦。咁照舊啦，you need to start the lab and then click on the detail and show it. But due to the time, I already start the lab first, so that don't have to wait for it。咁我整定咗㗎啦，咁我撳咗 start 同埋冇打我撳定 start，跟住等咗陣㗎啦。This is the architecture behind the scenes. It's already created from CloudFormation in your lab。咁喺個 lab 底度咧，其實用 CloudFormation 幫你起翻你之前做嗰個架構。咁佢今次咧就會加個數據庫。This time we will add the database in this architecture from this architecture into this one。咁我哋做最尾咧就會加咗個 database 就駁過去咁樣嘅。Okay, now click on the AWS. This is your target. Normally I go open a new tab. Just keep it here and then split it into two. Okay, yes. Now we are ready，咁ready 咗啦，go to security group，呢度 VPC 喎，咁我哋去 VPC 啦，Virtual Private Cloud search it VPC，上面撳個嘢 search 啊，跟住 click 啦，and then click on VPC。We need to create a security group, so-called database security group. Scroll down security，碌低就 security group and create a security group and scroll up and give it name and description。碌翻上去揀個名咯，description 咯，and then remember select the correct VPC。最緊要一定要揀啱個 VPC 就係 lab VPC。Remember to choose the correct VPC lab VPC。And then we need an inbound rule for the database. Okay, just tick on add the rule。揀條 inbound rule 即係俾人連入去啦。for 個 database 我嚟用 we will set up a firewall for the database。so we need to let other to connect into it。so it's inbound will connect into the database。連入嚟啊嘛，所以你要 in 咯。跟住呢度你可以打埋啦。It should show you the MySQL Aurora。就會揀咗 MySQL Aurora。其實就 standard 嘢，因為3306就 standard port。The standard port for MySQL is VB06 is Aurora is a distribution。so-called is a distribution of MySQL from AWS。Aurora 你可以簡單嚟講，你係一個 AWS 版嘅 MySQL 啦，佢寫過嘅。佢叫 Aurora MySQL 咁樣。一樣嘅啫。Okay, then you pick up the side. The source is different. Source is here. We will click on the. We need to let something to create as custom, and then the side is here. Not side. This is custom, and then here we will use the security group. Is SG something, so wrap security group。今次個 set 法咧就要揀呢個 wrap security group。其實咩意思咧？你有部 web server，web server 用咗呢個防火牆，我哋就話啦，喂，呢個防火牆嘅嘢就可以連入嚟。最好嘅，因為個問題就係永遠都唔知個 IP 嘅，因為你啲機會時多時少，你都唔知個 IP，所以我哋用個 group 去連嘅，即係你一個 group 駁另一個 group。The logic is that in the cloud is very common is that you never know about your IP address or side of your server of your EC2. It's normally we do something called auto scaling and then multi-region, multi-ASN, and you don't know about where it is. And the simplest one is that if it is inside the VPC, you even though so-called different VPC is allowed, you can use a security group. You talk about that. The web security group is allowed to make the connection into the database security group. We set two security group virtually so that we don't need to care about how many EC2 is there. Just use the security for the web server, and then all of the web server will be allowed to connect into the database。呢個係最好嘅，用防火牆嚟 check 防火牆，因為唔使知啲 IP 即係 IP 係唔知嘅問題。Okay, it's done. You just need to create the rule， 即係 create 我起咗佢先啦。And then you need to create a database subnet group, DB subnet group. Now you go to RDS。我哋而家就搞個 database 嘅 subnet group。我去到 RDS 啊，呢度咧就 RDS I prefer you keep the tab， so you click on control and then click。咁啊留翻個 VPC 先，因為可能而家翻轉頭，咁啊撳着 control click。OK。Now is RDS and then we need to go to the subnet group。咁啊揀呢個 subnet group。咁 OK，you need to create a subnet group here and then close the tab。What is the meaning of subnet group? Is that you will have a database. For example, in this diagram, you will have a database here. You will have two AZ here. It means multiple AZ mean multiple subnet. You need to keep the list of subnet that database is allowed to be put inside. As you don't know, since the database you don't know the database, since the database will change. You may have multiple database instances there, for example, multiple AZ deployment with replica and many things. You have multiple database, but where is it? You're not sure. It will move. When the region down, it will change. So we just give them a possible subnet. That's the database will be there. 咁其實個遊戲就係咁玩，因為你現實世界，你即係個卡好鬼得意嘅，因為其實佢有機會成個數據中心冧咗，咁即係成個 A set 冧咗，咁其實個 database 有機會飛來飛去嘅，因為佢冧咗一個就用第二個，或者你有三四個佢會周圍擺，咁其實會擺到平平衡衡咁，但係其實個 case 你就會揀話，喂，咁我其實擺 A set 即係擺濕嚟都唔係 OK，因為啲濕嚟係黐住 A set 噶嘛，咁你咪揀幾個濕嚟俾佢，有機會擺裏面，但係事實上佢喺邊呢？係未必知嘅，因為佢有時會調轉嘅，即係佢 back update 佢會調轉。Okay, let's create a subnet group and give the name is DB subnet, and then we will give two private subnet for the database, and then do remember select the correct VPC。咁啊緊記名就貼過去啦，但係一定要揀啱 VPC，因為呢啲係 VPC 嘅 construct，你貼咗去第二個 VPC 就用唔到噶啦。Okay, add more subnet。We will pick the A. We will select one A, one in A, one in B. So we suppose you two are B zone, and then the subnet will allow you to select there. We will pick the private subnet, not the public one. How can we know the private subnet? 嗱，咁我哋咧就揀咗兩個可能區啦，咁有四個 subnet 啦，你見到有 A、B，咁你要揀，you need to select the run 125 and then free 1 and 3. Click on the run and click on the free。Why is this? Since the architecture is run here, free here。咁我跟咗張圖嚟砌嘅啫。因為我哋擺 private 嘛，咁你冇理由擺錯 internet 嘅大佬，你記住 database 你擺出去好危險嘅，因為你冇理由俾人，因為你擺咗 private 咧，其實啲 hacker 唔可以直接入。You put the server in the private, it means that when the hacker or someone want to hack your database, it can't connect it directly. It go into the NAT gateways here. You need to password. It is impossible. And then you put in private. Only let the web server to touch it or some server inside here to have a proxy to like proxy to connect to it。咁通常我哋一定要喺 public 嗰度揾啲嘢過嚟先得，咁變得冇咁容易，安全啲啦。Okay, we have this set up, and then we create the DB subnet group。咁我哋起個 DB subnet group，咁啊擺度。咁你有時啲人會擺錯咗嘅，有時你 it will take something wrong into public, it will not secure or you put on the vertical, it's not make sense, it's data center down in real network。咁有啲人傻咗咧，打直咁搞兩個 subnet 咧，佢其實個 case 係第一件事冧 A set 你就冇得高可用性啦。咁就有問題就係喂你唔安全啦。Now we would like to create a database instance, so-called multi-AZ deployment database. And we go back to RDS or here, database, and then you create a database. Okay, create a database. And switch to the new creation flow if you see the old user interface。嗱咁啊，呢就轉咗界面，但係其實就冇啊，呢個係呢個 flow 都 OK 嘅啦。咁 in the description maybe have too real, but now I think everyone is using the latest version since the user interface may change all the time. And let's go to select the MySQL database, not the Aurora one。咁我哋揀嘅 MySQL 啦，因為佢話揀 MySQL 啦。咁你 you see that some description for you and up to 15 replica。咁我有15隻 replica， 5個唔同嘅可用區，5個同 region 可以勁到。咁啊 OK，just pick the MySQL。And then this is the community version, community one. and then we choose template, and here is a version. You can have multiple version, but never mind, just take the latest one.咁個版本冇講，咪揀 default 啦。And then you take the test and derive, just meet the test and derivative template. For production, it will create more resource for you.咁啊，production 版係勁到勁啲嘅，咁 multi asset 會有。But now, even though you pick if you pick the production, it will give you the multi asset DB deployment cluster for you. And for test and dev, you just want to use a multi asset this one. 咁其實咧，你 production 咧就會整多幾個 back， 整個勁啲嘅 version 俾你。咁咩叫勁啲嘅 version 咧？其實如果個勁啲嘅 version 就係你會個數據庫啦，就一定會攤喺唔同嘅可用區咁樣，即係你唔係一隻㗎，你係幾部 server 嘅。咁但係咧呢個其實而家個 case 你就會要教玩 create database cluster，咁其實你就會嗰個 case 除咗 multi asset 之外，仲有啲 replica 咁樣做晒俾你。You use multi database cluster, you can have some multiple database more than two, and then you can have some replica for you to just handle the read workload of your SQL statements. For example, select something. It's not about really the change the database. Okay, we got this one, and then we continue to configure the name. Is so-called labdb. Oh, sorry, labdb. Okay, labdb. And then the username master database username 咁啊 labdb 啦，咁啊 login 嗰個用戶啦，咁我哋叫 main 咯 ，login user is main 咯。The main password main password其實 is master password， so 個 master password and then double confirm the password。咁啊你咁啊 set 個 root 嗰個俾佢啦，咁啊揼個密碼啦。But in general you will not use password directly in the application. You will, for the AWS case point of view, you sometimes use secret manager to keep the password instead of put inside. 咁通常 AWS 而家用就會話有個專 keep 密碼嘅服務叫 secret password、secret manager 嘅東西幫你 keep 啲 password。咁又再透過啲permission IAM permission 去控制邊一個人可以 read 呢個 password。第二步 EC2 或者 Lambda 想連個 database 就會 read 個 secret manager 攞翻密碼出嚟。For the case that the latest concept is that we will keep the password in the secret manager instead of putting here, and then for the EC2 or Lambda whatever inside the base, it will have the permission to use a secret manager and then get the secret from the secret manager. So you can integrate your AWS IAM permission to your application to control the password as well, and then is additional feature, for example password rotation something will handle by secret manager。咁有時咧就會做埋 password 轉 password 嘅問題，因為其實你有個中間人做，你用 IAM 不停咁 update 啦，跟住再控制埋你可能 set 啲 rule 啊幾耐自己轉密碼咁啦。咁其實呢度好頭痕嘅嘢嚟嘅。咁但係如果自動做好好多嚇。OK。Let's continue, and we will pick the size of the database. We will only pick the T class, pick the DB TV instance. TV 要睇 TV. Oh, can't filter. db.t file, db.t, so TV. Oh, also don't have ones. Oh, sorry, you need to take the filter first. Possible. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, don't save the password. Breastable classes, breastable, and then TV Michael. Okay, that's good. And what is the breastable classes? This is something very interesting in AWS. Is that the EC2 instance look like you own a virtual CPU, but for the breastable classes, the CPU actually look like you own it, but actually it's not. You share between the other customer, and then when you need more CPU, it will burst into the full function, and then if you use up all the CPU credit, it will reduce your CPU power to certain proportion, minimum sakes. So the price will be much cheaper. 咁呢啲乜東西嚟嘅咧 ？Possible 嘅呢啲搞嘢嘅地方嚟就係呢個係啲人問哇點解 AWS 嗰啲 T 嗰啲 instance 咁鬼平嘅？咁其實咧呢招好鬼蠱惑嘅，就係即係你表面上你租咗部機話你有幾多 RAM 幾多 CPU， 咁 RAM 咪真係你嘅，但係 CPU 咧。如果 T 字頭嗰啲咧，其實係一個爆蝕模式啊 ，brushable 係咩料咧？就係、是、你嗰個 U 咧，其實你見到粒 CPU 其實係裏邊咧，如果你用 full power 咧，佢就會有嗰個 CPU credit， 佢會減嘅。你用嘅時候係咁減佢哋減到冇晒 credit 咧，都 CPU 就會慢速嘅，即係你唔係你嗰個 hertz 數嚟，咁所以可以做到好平俾你。 Okay, let's continue. Yeah, just explain about brushable concept. Sometimes in AWS is quite interesting. You can have brushable for CPU for different resources, and and then we pick the SSD is is fine. But the size is reduced to 20，咁啊整個20 G 嘅 hard disk 啦，最普通嘢啦。咁啊跟住 connectivity，we need to put your connectivity inside the VPC is important. Put into the lab VPC and then you need to pick your subnet group. You see you only got 1 TB subnet group, so it's just the only option. 咁你揀啱 VPC 咧，你自然得一個 subnet group 嘅啫，因為你頭先啱起。You don't want to have the public access in general。你就算擺咗 public subnet，你都唔想人哋連到線嘅，即係你唔會俾 IP 佢。Almost even though you accidentally put your database into the public subnet, if you don't get the public access, it means it will not have public IP, so it still have a basic protection for you. 好啦，咁啊繼續啦。咁其實冇咗粒 IP，其實理論上都連唔到入嚟，但係都係唔好咯，千祈唔好擺 public 咯。擺 public 你就好大風險啊。咁我哋揀啱呢度。咁啊 let the initial database create some initial database for you and choose a security group. Okay? And this let the default one. Remember, use the DB security group and then kick it out. Since you can have multiple security group for your for single instance EC2 或 interface。咁其實咧，你呢度揀啱個 DB security group 拎走 default 嗰個，因為其實你 security group 可以有幾個一齊 share 嘅，即係你可以 put 最多5個嘅，冇記錯。咁其實你啲 room 咪 combine 晒佢咯，嚇。咁但係揀一個啦。And then finally, you have some additional configuration is here. So expand it, and then the port number is here, and we need to create an initial database so-called lab. 嗱咁啊，呢度佢我咁改咗界面啦，所以你見唔到啦。So I think the interface is changes. And this is a very important one. RDS proxy is something very nice for you. In case if you are using AWS Lambda, okay, to connect into your database, if you DDoS your database, since Lambda will expand to 1,000 instance maybe. Okay, you can have parallel 1,000 Lambda function. If your database will be blocked, it will be DDoS by yourself. If you don't want this happen, you need to have a proxy so that the 1,000 Lambda function will connect to the RDS proxy, and then RDS proxy will make a full connection to the RDS to protect it, and then load balance it, and then keep the performance. 咁啊，其實咧呢個 RDS proxy 係好正嘅，即係如果你用 Lambda 去播做數據庫咧，其實你一定要開個 proxy 嘅，因為你會 DDoS 自己嘅，除非你 lock 死話最多行5條嘅。因為其實每一個 Lambda function 行嘅時候都會一部衰把嚟嘅，OK，不過好短生命一部衰把，可能講緊1秒鐘唔夠。咁但係如果1000部衰把一齊開，一齊播落數據庫度咧，幾勁嘅數據庫都 down 嘅，因為連線係做唔到咁多。咁我哋就 full 個 proxy 連咗個 proxy，個 proxy 後邊要 make 翻5條連線，跟住就 share 個連線嚟做咯。OK，just brief explanation. And we want to create a initial database so-called lab. Oh, okay, not this additional configuration. Okay, not this one. This one is change the port. 咁呢唔係呢個 additional configuration，下邊呢個 this configuration. And then initial database is lab. And then you enable uncheck the automatic backup, so that it will not take so many time for you. Otherwise, you create a database, it will back up. And then enable encryption uncheck, so that you don't have to select the key. And also finally enable the enhanced monitoring, also disable it. You need to pay it if you enable the monitoring. Enable the I can't find it. Also enable enhanced monitoring. Let's search enhanced. Control F enhanced. Here, just monitoring. It's not the bottom one. It's the other one. Okay. 咁啊，識咗幾樣嘢啦，識埋呢個。咁啊咩嚟嘅咧？咁其實個 case 咧就係你開咗 enable monitoring，其實佢就會嗰個頻率會高好多，你可以1秒嘅。If you enable enhanced monitoring, you can monitor your database per second. It's very very high density log for you to monitor the performance, CPU, memory， 乜都睇到晒，好快嘅。咁但係要俾錢。Okay, you need to pay it. That's so we don't want to pay it. Just disable it. Okay. And for the case that what is the backup? I just mentioned it. Backup, you will take the snapshot to backup database and then automatically keep the backup. How many days you said you maximum you can keep for 50 Friday，yeah，3、5個每日做一個 backup，然後 keep 3日最多。咁但係而家你想快咧就熄咗佢。If you want to faster to start your server, just remove it. Also for encryption is that your data must be encrypted in general. But if for the case that if you want to encrypt, you need to pick the key. But now we not have permission to keep to run 嘅。咁其實加密咧，其實理論上一定開嘅。不過其實有個 case 係呢個 lab 可能冇 permission 俾你做呢樣嘢。咁所以其實佢就咪熄咗佢咯，咁解。咁呢個唔使錢嘅。OK，that is the requirement of database setup, and you can start it. And then, for example, one more setting is important. You want to export the log. Maybe you want to export the log, car watch logs, so that you can easier to monitor. You just click on it. You will dump the database log outside. It is inside the database engine in MySQL one. 咁其實有時咧，你想即係其實好問啊，啲 log 睇唔到啊，因為你可能你個 database MySQL 啲 internal log 嚟，其實個 server 入邊 log 嚟，你想泵出 car watch 嚟 kick 埋佢，咁你可以去裏面睇啦。Okay, we finish the setup. You see the price is 29 US cents. 咁幾嚿水啦，a few hundred Hong Kong dollar. Okay, create a database take times. You need to wait 5 minutes, I think. Okay, just don't save the password. Don't save it. Okay, and just wait for it. Okay, the database is creates successfully, and you can see the database instance here. But when I review it, it still have some setting modifying say more than 5 minutes I frames. But I think you can still using in the real the connection details. So to try it, and let's go to the web server IP address. As even though it's still doing some setting, you may still able to using it. Go to the web server, you need to do。咁我哋要咁其實佢 boot 起咗㗎啦，不過佢 boot 完之後咧，仲有啲嘢搞，所以你成日見佢 modify 咧就有時都仲用，有時已經用得㗎啦，所以我哋唔使等咁耐啊。咁 let's go to the details, so AWS。咁我哋攞個 web server 啦，we go to the connect the web server, you go to here, and then paste the web server IP address here. And there should be a RDS tab。咁呢度咧有個 RDS 原來細細粒 RDS here。Oh, when you don't magnify too much. And we need to put the information for the database. Just click on this one. Just click on the database, and then you need to get your IP or endpoint for the database. But we normally use endpoint in general. 咁我哋通常都要用 endpoint 嘅。OK， 用 endpoint 就得㗎啦。I copy the endpoint here and go to endpoint, and then the database is lab. We set it up。咁我哋之前 set 嘅呢啲嚇 lab，sorry lab， 咁啊級啦。We go to the setting lab password username and password. We create a database. We have this set up。咁我哋之前起咗呢個，咁佢就試下連線啦。It will test the submit. You try to make the connection, and I don't know why the password manager always pop up. Don't pop up. And you found that MySQL and writing. Okay, the database is working now. You create a table, and then you can try to modify it. Yeah, you can take a look. It creates some data here. You can add a contact. Cyrus wrong. Whatever number you put, and email address you like, and then submit. Okay, it worked. You can remove it, edit it. Yeah, you can edit it. Yeah, and then remove. It's work properly。嗱咁啊 work 晒㗎啦。咁但係咧，你都仲見到嘅應該咧今次就 arrival 啦，即係 not modifying is arrival。arrival is must work 嘅，but if you find you not working, just wait for a moment。咁如果你未得，你等嗰陣啦。咁但係咁就做完晒啦。Now you complete your lab. You just remember to log out and then end the lab。咁我哋咧亦記得 log out 啦，跟住就 end lab。Yes, okay, we finish our lab。咁我哋做完啦。